Okay, we're going to have question and answers now, right?
Yeah, for
Okay.
about 5 or 6
Allison, do you
minutes.
want to come up and help field questions? Yes.
Can we discuss the societal implications? I can think of a couple, but...
Okay, societal implications. Okay, let me drop back to an interesting slide here. Remember,
Can I give a concrete answer
yeah.
from the assessments?
please do.
One of the,
Use the mic.
What's
so-
your name?
Allison Williams. So on the parent review panel for the assessments, in the science portion, I kept coming across questions that I considered policy questions, and even some ethics questions, meaning they weren't about specifically science or scientific fact. They had to do with, you know, what should the policy of the government be to solve this? And, you know, there kind of was a bias there that any solution that we have to society's ills kind of rely on greater intervention from the government. And I want to quote one of the guiding standards. So before the NGSS, they had their own kind of blueprint and framework, and it says by the end of 5th grade, by the end of 8th grade, by the end of 12th grade, here's what you're supposed to know from the How Do Humans Change the Planet strand. So NGSS has that in every year, has a whole section dedicated to this, and it says the sustainability of human societies and the biodiversity that supports them requires responsible management and regulation of natural resources. Scientists and engineers can make major contributions by developing technologies that produce less pollution, but when the source of an environmental problem is understood and, quote, international agreement can be reached, human activities can be regulated to mitigate global impacts. So again, it's not just about the science, it's about what kind of agreement, an international agreement, that kind of flies in the face of sovereignty of different countries, and that human activities can be regulated. So it implies as a major thing that they want as an objective of the standards to have kids not only have an idea of the science, but of the appropriate politics or the solutions. So that's concerning to me.
Okay, for another thought about some of the things that this could relate to. I was up at the state capitol yesterday, and one of the key issues that I was up there to address was the global warming, okay? And there are a lot of challenges with global warming. Obviously, my strong suit is in the challenges with Darwinian evolution. But remember, World War II was fought over a number of things. It was fought over what? Real quick, a hand.
Slavery.
A type of slavery. Fascism or state control. There's communism, which is state ownership and control, and there's fascism, which is private ownership but state control. We are headed down that same road, and what Allison talked about is conditioning minds for that very thing. Now let me ask you, one of the things that Hitler was all about was eugenics, right? Improving the race. You know, and I mentioned Darwin's in his Descent from Man talked about how we are not improving our race because we're not letting natural selection work. And so, what is the way to overcome that? We've got to have artificial selection. This is part of eugenics. By the way, forced sterilization, the first law that came out with forced sterilization, do you know where that was originally implemented? What's that?
United States.
Indiana, United States of America. I believe it was, I can't remember, it was over 30 states. 30 states.